Hi, welcome to Nonlinear Presentations with PowerPoint Zoom. I'm your host, Michael Giannotti, and we are going to be walking through a whole presentation on PowerPoint Zoom, a new feature. But in the meantime, you can always find me online at linkedin.com at Mike Giannotti. You can also find me on docs.com at Michael Giannotti. You can find me on Twitter at Giannotti. And lastly, on Facebook at Michael Giannotti. All over the place. All right. So let's get started with our presentation. All right, as we look at today's challenge, following things come to mind. First of all, one of the issues with PowerPoint has been that we get large marketing slide decks oftentimes for field personnel where it puts everything in the kitchen sink in it, covering every possible scenario. So when people go and they are doing presentations to various groups, to customers, partners, etc., they oftentimes have to go and sort through the deck, throw out the stuff they don't want, and create multiple copies of this same original deck because of the fact it's overwhelming, there's just too much there. If they don't, then one of the things they'll find is they have to move out of presentation mode frequently just to be able to skip ahead, and this can be problematic because it disrupts the flow of the presentation. Finally, oftentimes now, and in fact, what we try to do here at the MTC is we want to facilitate more responsive, less linear presentations, and instead of presenting and showing up and throwing up and just regurgitating material, we want to facilitate discussions. Non-linear presentations become discussions and dialogue because they allow us to more fluidly move to and from the different areas of conversation that we're going to engage in and present and discuss, right, in an interactive fashion, and to do so in a much more natural flow. So how do we solve this problem? Well, the solution really is PowerPoint Zoom. It's a new feature. If you have PowerPoint 2016 from Office Pro Plus and your IT department has rolled out the latest updates, you're on current branch release, then you should see this new addition under the insert. And you're going to see it in our demonstration in just a bit. What it does, like I said, it's a new feature that allows you to go in and to insert this new nonlinear navigational feature we'll take a look at. The nonlinear feature allows you to go back and forth between different areas very fluidly, and it's quick and easy to set up, and you can reset it time and time again, irrespective of your deck, so that it can be set up and ready to roll for a particular customer who's articulated particular needs beforehand. There's three different methods. We're going to be using the summary one, but there's also a section and slide. This will become self-explanatory as we take a look at the demonstration itself. So without further ado, why don't we go ahead and let's get started with today's demonstration of Zoom for PowerPoint. All right, so what we see here, I have a generic PowerPoint open. I actually took this from the, if you go online to Microsoft Office website, you'll find they have templates available. This is just a generic one for a business project plan. It has a bunch of sample slides and areas for you to go in and edit for your own business project plan to present. Very typical of a lot of the type of content that's out there. I've done no customization to it. We're just taking the defaults. But you can see here if I scroll down, we got a bunch of content to look at. Maybe we do not want to present all this. We want to use some of these slides as jumping points for conversation. Now, how do we do so in a non-linear fashion? Well, it's pretty simple. I'm going to come in here and I'm just going to go ahead after our first, initial, here's what we're talking about today. I put my little line there. I clicked in between the two slides, and I'm going to come up here to insert. And you'll notice here's that new feature. It's called Zoom. Now, and it says the group of feature, summary, zoom, section, zoom, and slide that allows you to navigate through your presentation. When I click the drop down, only one of them is highlighted, summary zoom. Summary zoom is going to build a slide with the non-linear navigational elements all done for me. If I don't want to do that, if I want to manually create it myself, I could come here, I could select new slide, for example, click a blank, and now you'll notice when I go to insert zoom. I have the ability to do zoom and a slide zoom. So now I could create one that goes to a slide. If I then created a top level one, in this slide zoom, I would be manually adding the tiles that you'll see automatically get created in just a moment. And then I could create category ones underneath that. However, what I'm going to do, I'm going to delete that slide. We want to do the easy one. I think this is what you'll find most people doing. So I have a range of slides. I want to quickly and easily get to the parts that I want without having to exit out of presentation mode. I don't want to rearrange the deck. I don't want to delete a bunch of stuff. I want to keep it intact, but be able to get to what I need to as I need to and as the conversation guides me. So I'm going to go ahead. Let's go to Insert. We're going to go to Zoom, and I'm going to select Summary Zoom. That's going to open this window. It shows me all the slides in my deck, and you notice there's little check boxes. All I need to do here is then select the boxes that I want to go to, the slides I want to. So for example, I want to go to this project team roles. I want to be able to go straight to that. Maybe I want to go to the objectives. We'll do that. And during this conversation, I also know there was a lot of discussion around cost analysis and maybe around risk management. And finally, quality management. So once I've selected the slides that I want, I'm going to select Insert. So it says 5 slides. It tells me how many 5 slides are selected. And it's going to automatically create a slide with these navigational elements. These thumbnails are views directly into the slides I want. And I could go ahead and I could say, just project or business plan, discussion. We're going to call it that instead of presentation. Once I'm done, if I come down here, I can go ahead, slideshow, and you'll notice here's that slide. When I click on a slide, so let's go to business team roles. When I click on it, it takes me straight into the slide. If I do the back button, boom, I'm right back to where I started. Cost analysis. It's not going linearly through the presentation. It's taking me directly to where I want to be. And click here, it takes me back. Just clicking back and forth. What it allows me to do, there we go, and then I'm back. And I can go ahead and go back here and then back again. It's going to allow me to advance as I need to go back and forth, but it's a much easier and more natural way so I can go back and forth. I can quickly assemble as many of these as I want pertaining to the conversation. So if you think about a large project plan with many areas, right, with lots of content, tens to hundreds of slides, I can go ahead and quickly create a navigational scheme for that day. When I'm done, after that day, I simply come in, delete it, and I still have my deck all intact. And I can go ahead and then I can redo and create new ones as needed. So it's quick, it's easy to do. It's called Zoom. Simply go to Insert and click Zoom, and there you are. So that's it. I mean, what do you think? It's easy, it's simple. Give it a try. If you don't have it yet, if you're on the deferred branch, for PowerPoint within your organization, you may have to wait. If you're a student though, or home user, you have it at home, you should have the latest updates. Just double check that you do, and you should see that under your insert within PowerPoint 2016. It's simple, it's easy, it's a great tool to make things a lot more natural, to facilitate conversation, to not have to create multiple versions of a deck. Just simply before the meeting, as you determine in pre-calls or whatever the things that you're going to have to zero in on, go ahead, create that slide that's going to allow you to much more naturally get to the content you want, and you're going to enjoy your presentation. So will the people that you're working with. All right, well, I hope you found this helpful, and I want to thank you for watching. You know, if you found this valuable, take a look at some of my other videos that you can find at docs.com/Michael Giannotti. You also can find me on Facebook, as I mentioned previously, at facebook.com/Michael Giannotti and at twitter.com/Giannotti. Feel free to reach out if you have questions, if you want to know tips and tricks how to, and I'll be happy to help you as best I can. Well, thank you for watching and have a great day.